Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome back to Weather on the Go, all your weather coverage. We are just getting past a very busy weekend of severe weather with our second severe weather season starting here. And you do see back on Saturday, September 23rd, we have quite a few reports of severe weather across the mid-Missouri Valley down into the southern plains, including two tornado reports, one across eastern South Dakota and another one into western portions of Minnesota there into the upper Midwest. We had lots of wind reports, lots of hail reports for a total of 100 severe weather reports on Saturday. And on Sunday, we had a lot of that drifting to the south into the Lone Star State there in Texas and northwestern Louisiana with those hail and wind reports for a total of 49 severe weather reports going back to your Sunday yesterday on September 24th. And looking at this, we did need the rain. That's what we did need here over the past few days. And you see the past 3 days, we did report several inches of rain across portions of the upper Midwest, the middle Missouri Valley, and parts of the southern plains. In fact, we did see a heavy swath of rainfall just to the east of the Oklahoma City metroplex there, just south of Tulsa as well, into eastern and southeastern Oklahoma. We saw areas over 6 inches of rain over the past 3 days, so a lot of flooding across that region as well from all of that coming down in a short amount of time. But the good news is the drought does start to get eaten away at. So, we had all that rainfall across the upper Midwest, the middle Missouri Valley, the southern plains. Yes, we have drought. Yes, it's an extreme drought in many instances, but this will help in a big way with the rainfall we did have to get rid of some of this drought and improve it a little bit over the next couple of weeks. If you like detailed weather breakdowns on North America, including southern Canada, the United States, and the tropics, right here on Weather on the Go, it's free to subscribe, so hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you press the thumbs up button as it helps to get all of this weather information out to as many people as possible. Also, feel free to share this video, press the share button, and share it on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anything online as well. I really do appreciate it. But looking here at our weather pattern, we do have a pretty potent system moving in across portions of British Columbia up there in southwestern Canada and into the Pacific Northwest, especially into Washington State and Oregon as we go through today and even into the middle of the week with that trough coming in. And we have a strong high pressure system that will be feeding in up here into eastern Canada. That's going to allow for warmer temperatures downstream of this trough for the eastern United States, but we'll talk about that here momentarily. So looking at the precipitation across the West Coast today, it's going to be a rainy one. If you live into Seattle, down toward Portland, even northwestern portions of California, bands of rainfall will be moving in with a stronger low pressure system just off the coast there of the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia this afternoon and this evening. As we move forward into your Tuesday, much of the same, very rainy across Seattle, Portland there, even portions of Spokane, Washington, some of those areas getting some heavier rainfall at times, and then some of those showers continue into Wednesday, although the intensity and coverage of those showers by the middle of the week will start to wane as we get towards Wednesday. Looking at the total rainfall accumulation in inches now through Thursday morning on the 28th of September, you can see, the Seattle region will be picking up more than 2 inches of rain. We possibly could be getting close to 4, maybe 5 inches of rain for you up there and towards Seattle. Down toward the Portland region, at least an inch of rain, maybe 2 inches of rain for you there. And then into northwestern California, we could be talking about another 1 to 2 inches of rain for you folks down there through the end of the week. But looking at the temperatures and how this trough will kind of filter into the weather pattern is that when usually you see a stronger trough this time of year across the Pacific Northwest, you have a stronger high pressure system off to the east. And we do have that. That's going to be signaling more of a southerly, southwesterly wind across the eastern 2/3 of the country and even into Canada as well early this week. And that really starts to kick in by the late week period and especially into this upcoming weekend. Look at that, folks. The Midwest, the Central Plains, the Southern Plains, and really the eastern 2/3 of the country for that matter will at least be a handful of degrees above average, possibly up to 15 degrees above average across these regions by this upcoming weekend. So let's take a look at these temperatures temperatures out there. This afternoon, yes, it is pretty warm for fall standards here, folks. We are officially in fall of 2023, and these temperatures are very warm. We're in the middle 80s from St. Louis back to Kansas City on southward. Yeah, we're even into the triple digits down here into coastal Texas toward Corpus Christi, the Brownsville region down here into the Rio Grande Valley, and then even some 90s into North Texas. That continues straight through the end of the week. So even on Friday, we're seeing more of those 80s and actually creeping further to the north with the 80-degree line. As we get into Friday, that moves into portions of South Dakota, southern Minnesota. We could be taking a run at 80 degrees Fahrenheit in the Twin Cities up there into Minneapolis, St. Paul on Friday. As we get into this upcoming weekend, previewing your high temperatures, the last day of September here on Saturday, September 30th. Yeah, we're seeing 85 in Des Moines, 88 nearing 90 degrees there into Omaha, and 82 in the Minneapolis-St. Paul region there. And then even as we go into Sunday on October 1st, we're still seeing those 80s and 90s as far north as Iowa, Nebraska, northern Illinois, even southern Minnesota, still hanging on to those lower 80s as we go into that time frame. It's much cooler across the west. Like, again, we have that trough, so that's going to keep us nice and cool, especially in those higher elevations, while the heat will be building across the eastern two-thirds of the country. Looking at the precipitation anomaly now through the next week or so, you can see through that Sunday time frame here, we're going to be seeing a lot of drier conditions across the middle of the country, very active like we showed across the Pacific Northwest. This does include parts of British Columbia there into Canada, and even as far south as north central California there. We may have some periods of rainfall from Minnesota, Wisconsin, down into northern Illinois and the Ohio Valley. That could stretch over to the East Coast. But other than that, we're really not seeing too much, although we are seeing some heavy rainfall down into Florida there over the next few days. We'll keep an eye on, and you can see that reflected on our total precipitation accumulation map here through the Sunday, October 1st time frame. Yeah, we're talking most of the state of Florida. Southern Georgia will be picking up at least a couple to a few inches or more of rain across those regions. We will have a couple disturbances, like I just mentioned, from Minnesota, Wisconsin, down into northern Illinois and the Ohio Valley. That could give us a couple inches of rainfall there. And then we just mentioned all the rain they're going to see over into the Pacific Northwest, up into British Columbia there, a few inches, even see places like Seattle, Portland, down into northwestern California. That we are seeing more of that rainfall there. But dry slot in the middle there into the Central Plains, into the desert Southwest, that will continue through the next upcoming weekend here, all the way through October 1st. And looking beyond that, from October 2nd, this is a week from today here, and you can see, yeah, we're going to be above normal east of the Rockies. So much of the same will take us through the first week there in October, with more below average temperatures across the Intermountain West, maybe a little sliver of slightly above average temperatures from Seattle down to Portland and Northern California toward the end of the first week of October. So we'll continue to watch that as well. But what we're seeing right now is what you're going to get as we get into the first week in October. More of that active weather will transition from the Pacific Northwest downstream into the Great Plains. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple more severe weather setups with the clash of the air masses here, where we have warmer temperatures out east, cooler temperatures out west, and where those air masses come together and collide, we could be seeing some heavier rain and severe weather in the middle of the country. So we'll be watching that. Turning to the tropical weather update, we are watching Tropical Storm Philippe that continues to meander here in the North Atlantic Ocean. That is heading off to the north and west as we speak. Will be remaining a stronger tropical storm as it heads up to the north and west. And look at that, folks. Yes, great news. It is going to be missing a lot of land here as it just kind of remains over the North Atlantic Ocean as a fish storm. Right now, it's maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 14 miles per hour here. And tracking Philippe today, you can see down to a 997 millibar low or thereabout. That's going to continue to press off to the north and west with that steering high pressure. Remember, the airflow around a high pressure system is clockwise, so we're going to start to see that move more to the north and west, and then kind of curl back to the north and east with time toward the end of the week and into this upcoming weekend. So a fish storm is what Philippe will be out here into the North Atlantic Ocean, but we are keeping an eye on a new area of interest. Yeah, we're still in hurricane season, and we have an 80% chance of development just across areas west of the African coast into the main development region. A similar path to Philippe is possible with this next system. We'll have to watch this a little bit for the Leeward Islands, though. You're not in the clear just yet. By the weekend, there are some ensemble members that do get very close there to portions of Puerto Rico or even the Leeward Islands. We'll have to keep an eye on, and that actually remains the case as we go into next week as well. But this is very possible to be another fish storm in the North Atlantic, so don't panic. Lots of time to watch this, and we'll keep you updated right here on Weather on the Go. And looking here at the experts of the Climate Prediction Center's forecast, going right straight through October 10th here, yeah, that's going to be the area of favorability for any new tropical systems. Will be the main development region between the Leeward Islands and Africa, and those storms will originate in the main development region, and they will likely turn to the west-northwest or straight to the north and west, either becoming a fish storm or possibly impacting us, possibly just indirectly or possibly even directly into the Leeward Islands. So we'll keep an eye on that through the first half there of October. If you haven't seen my winter forecast, make sure to go check that out for the winter of 2023 and 24. Lots of great information on that video, and that link to that video is below in the description of this video. So make sure to go comment any questions, concerns, or anything like that on my video there. Also, make sure to like the video as well. I do appreciate that. Like this video if you liked it as well. I appreciate it as well. Share this video on social media with friends, family, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, anything. I definitely appreciate it. Helps to get the word out as much as possible. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday out there.